Golden Radio Hour.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, The Roads Must Roll, by Robert Heinlein.
Hear them hum, watch them run. Oh, our job is never done, for our roadways go rolling along. While you ride, while you glide, we are watching down inside, so your roadways keep rolling along. Oh, it's high, high, he, the roader men are we. Check off the sectors loud and strong. 1, 2, anywhere you go. You are bound to know that your roadways keep rolling along. Keep a rolling! That your roadways keep rolling along.
It was in the middle 1950s that the automotive age began to die. The traffic engineers had long expected it. For years, they had watched our vast cities sprawl and spread out, spill over into the countryside, become more and more dependent on motor transportation. And then, finally, the inevitable breaking point was reached. The growing flood of cars and buses and trucks began to swamp the streets and arterial highways. The building of roads could no longer keep pace. The superhighways, clogged, congested, became packed with cars stalled bumper to bumper. And the cities began to die of slow strangulation, where the traffic could no longer roll. And then the engineers took over. They banned the automobiles, tore up the superhighways, and in their place they built the rolling roads, mechanized roads that moved like huge conveyor belts, whirling along on their giant rotors at speeds ranging from 5 to 100 miles an hour, carrying the freight, the food, and the people from city to city and coast to coast. And no one worried over the fact that if the road should ever stop, our whole economic life would stop. For the machinery had never failed yet. But people forgot that machinery depends on men, the men who run it.
Who makes the roads roll? We do! That's right, the engineers. We're the brains of the road. And where would the public be if we didn't keep the roads rolling? Right behind the 8 ball, and everybody knows it. All right, then. We're the men who hold the power, and it's time we started using it. We've called this meeting of the Engineers Control Committee because that's what we want to do. Control. Because I'm tired of taking orders from the Transport Commission, from slick desk jockeys like Jim Gaines, who don't even know a rotor bearing from a field corn. Now let Gaines yammer about our duty to the public. That's a lot of eyewash. We've got the power, and we're the men that count. Now it's time we quit fiddling around and use a little direct action to get what we want.
Mr. Chairman! Mr. Chairman!
The chair recognizes Brother Harvey of the Transport Mechanics Union.
Thanks. Now, I don't rightly belong here since I'm no engineer. I'm just here to represent the workers' union. But I want to know what's all the shouting for. You engineers have got better working conditions than we have, and we ain't kicking. You say the engineers are powerful. You say you can tie up the roads. Well, so can any screwball with a jar of nitroglycerin. And he wouldn't need no engineer's degree to do it, neither.
Harvey, are you speaking for your union now, or are you here as a stooge for the Transport Commission?
Listen, Van Cleek, I helped fund my union. I led the strike in 75 for decent working conditions. Where were you engineers then? With the Finks!
Brother Harvey! Brother Harvey, remember, you're only a guest at this meeting. Go on, Van.
Now, listen, man. I'm one of the old engineers on the roads. You all are, worked up the hard way. We didn't go to the fancy technical institutes like those young punk cadet engineers the commissioner's training to take over our jobs unless we do something to stop them. Jim Gaines hasn't been able to fill us full of the old school spirit and that baloney about how the roads must roll. So, all right, then. Why don't we get smart for a change? What would happen if the roads stopped rolling? Maybe the country would begin to realize that they can't do without us. Maybe we'd begin to get the things we want. Who says the roads must roll?
Yes?
Your wife is calling, Mr. Gaines.
Put her on.
Jim, I want you to stop off on your way home.
I'm sorry, darling, I can't make it.
But you promised.
I know, but Washington called in. They're sending Evans, the Australian Minister of Transport, through my sector today. I've got to show him through personally.
Can't somebody else?
I'm chief supervisor. Wouldn't be courteous.
Courtesy begins at home. I've planned this dinner for weeks.
Honey, the roads must roll.
Oh, if you quote that nauseating slogan at me again, I'll divorce you.
I can't help it, darling. I'll meet you at Stockton at 9 and we'll take in a show. Kiss Alan goodnight for me.
Well, all right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mr. Evans is here.
Show him in. Well, good evening, Mr. Evans. I'm Gaines, chief engineer.
How do you do, Mr. Gaines? They told me at the embassy you'd be the man to see. I want to know how the roads work.
I think we can handle that.
Well, I'm not a technical man, Mr. Gaines. My field is sociology. So, suppose you tell me about the roads as if I were entirely ignorant.
Fine. It's nearly at dinner time. Suppose we run up to Stockton sector for dinner. It'll take us about an hour on the roads, and you can see them working.
Excellent.
If you'll excuse me a minute.
Certainly.
Hi, Chief. What can I do for you?
Dave, you're on evening watch, eh?
Uh-huh.
Where's Van Cleek?
Going to some meeting.
I'm going up to Stockton for dinner. Anything to report?
No, sir. The roads are rolling.
Okay. Keep them rolling. All right, Mr. Evans, let's go. This is the low-speed strip. Ever ridden a conveyor before?
No.
It's quite simple. Remember to face the motion of the strip as you get on. There. We'll go right across. Each adjoining strip is a few miles an hour faster than the one next to it. Freight is carried on the 50-mile strip, most passenger traffic on the express strip. All right, now watch your step. Here we are, the maximum speed.
100 miles an hour. It doesn't seem possible.
This trip makes the round trip San Diego to Reno in 12 hours. Ready to eat?
Is this the restaurant?
Jake's Steakhouse. Fastest meal on the road.
Is it really a proper restaurant?
One of the best. Shall we go in?
Hello, Mr. Gaines. We don't see you much out on the road.
Busy in the office, Jake.
Two? Right this way. What'll it be?
You order.
Well, how about a steak? 2 inches thick from a steer that died happy.
Fine. Plug me in the phone, will you?
There's one right next to you. Flank 2, rare.
You'll excuse me, Mr. Evans?
Certainly.
Davidson on watch.
This is the chief. I'm at Jake's Steakhouse. You can reach me at 10L66.
10L66, right.
Yeah. Now they can get hold of me in an emergency.
Oh? What kind of emergency could there be?
2, principally. Power failure on the roaders would bring the road to a standstill. That happened during rush hour. We'd have to evacuate millions of people from the road.
As many as that?
Easily. There are 12 million people dependent on this section of road. Gaines here.
Hello, Chief. Davidson. Just got the hourly reports in. Diego Circle, Bakerfield Sector, Stockton Sector, and Reno Circle all rolling.
Oh, you didn't have to bother me with the hourlies, Dave.
There's a supplementary from Sacramento.
Proceed.
Cadet Engineer Gunther, while on watch, was found playing cards with C.J. Ross, technician on duty.
Any damage?
One rotor running hot, but still synchronized. It was jacked down and replaced.
All right, have the paymaster give Ross his time and turn him over to civil authorities. Place Cadet Gunther under arrest and bring him to Rotown Central.
Yes, sir.
All right. Keep him rolling. I was saying there were 2 possibilities of danger. Can you visualize what would happen if the strip under us would break?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. You don't realize you're traveling at 100 miles an hour.
Well, it can't. Not now. The strip has a safety factor of over 12 to 1. It'd take a blowout of several miles of rotors and a failure of circuit breakers before the strip could part. But it happened once in the early days on the Philadelphia-Jersey City road. The strip wasn't much more than a conveyor belt. It buckled for miles, crushing passengers against the roof. Forward section in front of the brake spilled them down under into the rotors and rollers.
Oh. Was it very bad?
Over 3,000 people were killed in that break. But the roads had to go on. The entire economic system hangs on the roads. If they stopped now, the country would starve.
Well, isn't it possible that you've become too dependent on these roads? I mean, if your whole economy is geared to the function of one type of machinery...
The roads are foolproof now. The machinery is interlocked with an enormous safety factor.
Yes, but in the long run, machinery depends on men. What if you had a strike?
We had one back in 75. Well, there's not much danger of that anymore.
No? Well, why not?
Every cadet that goes to work on the roads today is a graduate of the United States Transport Academy. They're all picked men, screened for emotional stability, and trained to give us the same kind of loyalty that Annapolis and West Point develop in their men.
I see. Are you a graduate, Mr. Gaines?
No, I'm too old for that. The academy wasn't set up till after the strike in 75. But it won't be long now, maybe 5 or 10 years, before the oldest engineer on the roads is a man who's been through the academy. Gaines here.
Davidson, there's another trouble report from Sacramento sector.
Again? What is it this time?
What is it? What happened?
Emergency stop. Hello. Hello, Davidson. Phones are out. Come on. Jake! Jake!
What is it? What's the matter with the roads?
Have everybody stay in the restaurant.
What's that?
Probably somebody stepped onto the next strip. Got cut to ribbons. There'll be plenty of casualties. Jake, where's your getaway hat?
In the pantry.
Look here, aren't we going to help those people?
I've got the whole road to think of. Don't bother me. Give me a hand, Jake. The hatch is stuck. If you're coming with me, Mr. Evans, you've got to move fast. I haven't got any time to waste.
Where are we now?
Freeway on top of the inner road ceiling. That's the outer shell over us.
Are we going outside?
No, there'll be an access down manhole over here. They're spaced every 100 feet. There, by the green light. Now, this will get us down on the northbound road. Careful, it's dark. Now stand away from the door, Evans.
Yes. But this road is still rolling.
It was only the 100-mile strip that stopped. There's what I want, a phone booth. Look out, excuse me. Look out.
Hey,
out.
Hey, I'm talking to my wife. What's the idea
Don't
of
argue.
busting in here?
Out.
Yeah, but
Emergency priority, division office.
Davidson.
Gaines here, report.
Chief, where have you been? I've been calling you.
Never mind that, report.
709, consolidated tension. Report strip 20, Sacramento sector, past emergency level. Interlocks acted and cut the strip out. Cause of failure unknown. Direct communication cut to Sacramento Control Office. Evacuation of strip 20 commenced. No casualties.
There are casualties. I saw them. Put police and hospital routine A into operation. Get me Van Cleek. I want him to take over for me till I report in.
We can't reach him, Chief. Shall I cut out the rest of the road?
No. Keep those other strips rolling or we'll have a traffic jam the devil himself couldn't untangle. There are 5 million passengers on the road now. Notify the governor that I have assumed emergency authority. Arm all cadets available and await orders.
Shall I recall technicians off
No.
watch?
This isn't an engineering failure. That whole sector went out simultaneously. Somebody cut those rotors by hand. I want all available senior class cadets to report to Stockton Subsector, Office 10, with pistols and tear gas.
Yes, sir. The governor wants to talk to you. He called in.
Refer him to someone else. I'm busy. I'll get back to you. I'm going down under. Evans! Evans!
I can't hear you. The noise.
Put on this helmet.
What?
Helmet! Helmet!
Oh, yes.
You can't hear without an anti-noise filter. Come on.
What are we looking for?
A recon car. There should be one here.
Are those the rotors?
Now, the big ones are rotors. They drive the road. Little ones are rollers. They give continuous support. There's a watch gang now, jacking down a rotor.
Can they hear us?
No, the noise filter works on a 4-foot radius. I'll flash him. Now, he sees the light.
Cadet Wilson reporting, sir.
I want your recon car, emergency.
Yes, sir, right over here, sir.
Come on, Evans.
Yes.
Get in.
But it's so small.
You'll fit all right. You can take off your noise filter now. Hang on, she accelerates like a rocket.
Oh, my My stomach.
Relay station.
This is Gaines. Get me Davidson, senior watch officer.
Mr. Gaines, the mayor wants to talk to you.
I haven't got time. Get me Davidson. And leave this circuit hooked into Davidson's board until I tell you to cut it.
Yes, sir. Here is the senior watch officer.
Davidson.
Gaines calling. Have you found out yet what's stopping the roads?
No, sir. It's still a mystery to me.
All right. I'm on my way in a recon car. Hold everything till I get there.
Cadet Edmonds reporting, sir. 3 platoons of cadet engineers standing by with tumblebug motorcycles.
Armed?
Pistols and tear gas as ordered, sir.
Good.
Assistant Supervisor Van Cleek is calling you on Circuit 9, sir.
Van Cleek. It's about time. Cut me in.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Van. Where are you?
Sacramento office. Now listen,
Sacramento. That's good. Report.
in a pig's eye.
What?
I'm not your deputy anymore, Gaines.
What are you talking about?
Listen, don't interrupt me and you'll find out. You're through, Gaines. I've been picked as director of the Engineers Control Committee. We're taking over.
Have you gone off your roller?
We stopped Strip 20 just to give you a taste of what we can do. We're running things now.
And you don't really think you can get away with this?
You can't start Strip 20 until I'm ready to let you. I can stop the whole road if I have to.
Van Cleek, I'll call in the Army.
How will you get 'em here if the roads aren't rolling? Now listen, Gaines. Whoever controls the roads controls the country. And right now, that happens to be me. Now sign off, Gaines. Gotta call the White House. You behave yourself and you won't get hurt.
I don't believe it, sir.
He's got us, Edmonds. We go in and blast him out, he may wreck the road. What's your rolling tonnage now?
53% under evening peak, sir.
How about Strip 20?
Almost evacuated.
Listen in on this, Davidson.
Standing by, Chief.
I'm going down inside with these cadets. We'll work north, overcoming any resistance that we may meet. The watch technicians and maintenance crews are to follow behind us. Each rotor, as they come to it, is to be cut out from under Sacramento's control, then hooked into the Stockton control board. Understand?
Got it.
Check.
If it works right, we can move control of Sacramento sector right out from under Vance's feet. And he can stay in his office there till he's hungry enough to be reasonable. Edmonds, get me a pistol.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gaines, there's a man here. He's badly hurt. He wants to see you.
Take care of him. I haven't got time.
He's from Sacramento sector.
What? Bring him in.
All right. Easy. Come on. Easy.
Mr. Gaines,
You're Harvey from the Mechanics Union, aren't you?
I tried to warn you. I tried to get away. He shot me 3 times.
Get a doctor. All right. Easy, Harvey. How long's this been building up?
Is it the men? It's the engineers. I told them they were crazy. Told them the road's got to roll. When I tried to get away, they...
He's bleeding from the mouth, sir.
Harvey. Harvey, can you hear me?
He's dead, Mr. Gaines.
Come on, Edmonds. We better move.
Hey,
All right, you men. You saw Harvey brought in. How many of you want a chance to kill the louse that did it?
I do.
Very well. You men turn in your weapons and return to quarters. We've got a job to do. To make sure the roads start rolling again. We haven't got time for infantile heroics. Anybody who hasn't got his mind on his job will be in the way. Now, here's the order. We move north, mounted on tumblebugs. We're going to try to regain control, rotor by rotor, before Sacramento sector knows we're moving. We've got to capture any watch personnel we run on before they can get word back. Surprise is vital. Use tear gas when possible. Shoot only when necessary. But get them before they can reach a phone jack. Any questions? No. Then move out. What's the score, Edmonds?
33 prisoners so far, nobody killed.
Whoops. Yes, since I rode one of these tumblebugs, I've gotten how to steer it.
Well, sir, there's a man ahead. There at the rotor base.
He's got a phone jacked in. Hurry. If he gets word back, we're sunk.
I don't think he's seen us. I'll dismount and get him.
Quick, he sees us.
Here, you.
Look out, he's got a gun.
Oh, I got him.
Grab his gun.
Yes, sir.
You had a phone jacked in, all right. If he got through to Sacramento office, it's going to be tough.
I don't know, sir. Maybe he didn't get the call through.
Wait a minute. Listen.
The road.
Take off your noise filter. There. road is stopping. Halt your men.
Halt! Hold up there! Hold up!
There's a recon car coming up.
Relay station call for Mr. Gaines.
Give it to me.
Here you are, sir.
Gaines here.
Davidson here, Chief. Van Cleek's calling you.
Who stopped the road?
He did.
All right. Cut Van Cleek into me.
You thought I was fooling, huh, Gaines? What do you think now?
All right, Van, the road is stopped. You won this trick.
Then why don't you get smart and give up? You can't win.
You forgot something, Van. You can't lick the whole country.
Yeah? Gaines, I've got a switch button in my hand. If I push it, it'll blow 300 yards straight across the roads. And then, for good measure, I'll take an axe and wreck the control station before I leave.
That's pretty drastic, Van.
Yeah, if I blow this charge in the middle of Sacramento sector, it'll get an awful lot of people. There are plenty of shopkeepers still on Strip 20, and that row of apartment houses next to the road will go.
Look, Van, you don't want to blow the road, neither do I. Suppose I come up to your headquarters and talk this over. 2 reasonable men ought to be able to make a settlement.
Is this some kind of a trick?
I'll come alone and unarmed. My men will stay here.
All right. All right, Gaines. But one wrong move, and I blow the road.
We've got to hurry, Dave. If I take too long, Van Cleek will get edgy and set off that charge.
Failure report notes?
1, strips must be cross-connected with safety interlocks, so that when one dies, the others slow down. 2, the men.
Yeah, I can't understand it. Psych tests are rigid. We've never had a failure in the Hum-Wadsworth-Burton method. And then suddenly a whole sector goes sour. How could Van Cleek get a whole crew of psych-cleared men to revolt?
It's easy, Dave. As my deputy, he was ex-officio personnel officer for the whole road. He must have been faking psych records for years and transferring maladjusted men into his sector.
I've got that personnel record, Mr. Gaines.
Man's record. Masked introvert. Inferiority rating 7. Comment. Despite a potential instability shown on Wadsworth Curve, this officer is especially adept in handling men. He's adept, all right. I haven't got time for any more, Dave.
You're not going up there to Sacramento office.
I've got to.
He'll be armed. He'll kill you.
I've got to take that chance.
But unarmed? Why don't you call him the Army? He won't dare blow the road.
Yes,
then.
he would. Look at that psych record. He's putting up a big, brave front, but he's rotten inside. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants everybody to think he's the most dangerous man in the country. And if I call the Army in, he'll try to prove it by blowing the road.
How can you stop him, Mr. Gaines? He'll have a gun. What'll you have?
What'll I have? Only a prayer. And what I know about Mr. Van Cleek.
All right, Gaines. Director Van Cleek will see you now. Gaines is here, Director Van Cleek.
Come in, Gaines. Behaving sensibly at last. You know I've got you where I want you, and there isn't anything you can do about it.
I searched him, Director. He's unarmed.
Mm-hmm. I want you to sign this now. It's a declaration of your recognition of the Engineers Control Committee. You've got 1 minute to sign it, Gaines, or I'll push this button and blow up the whole sector.
You better sign, Gaines.
You need this gorilla with the gun, Van?
Hey, you
Can't you handle one unarmed man alone?
All right, Harry, out.
What?
Out? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now sign. What's so funny?
You are. You start a revolution because you think the engineers should control the road. Then when you've got control, the only thing you can think of to do is blow it up. Tell me, what are you so scared of?
I'm not scared.
Yeah? Sitting there sweating all over that push button you're holding? Your buddies knew how afraid you were. They'd probably throw you into the rotors.
I'm not afraid.
You're afraid of me right now. You're afraid I'll have you on the carpet. You're afraid the cadets won't salute you. You're afraid they're laughing at you behind your back.
No, I'm not. Now, you keep quiet. I've got a gun.
You're afraid of using the wrong fork at dinner. You're afraid people are looking at you, laughing at you.
I am not, you dirty, stuck-up snob. Just because you went to a high-hat school, you think you're better than anybody, you and your crummy little gold-braid cadets.
Van, you're a pathetic little shrimp.
Huh?
I understand you perfectly. You're a third-rater.
Oh.
All your life you've been afraid that someone would see through you and send you to the foot of the class.
Oh, yeah.
Throw you right out on your ear where you belong.
Oh.
I don't want to look at you anymore.
I'll show you. I'll put a bullet in
Put
you.
down that pop gun before you hurt yourself.
Don't you come near me. Don't you come near me or I'll shoot. I'll shoot.
Give me that.
No. Let me go.
Give that pistol.
And thanks for not disappointing me, Van.
I don't understand.
I thought if I wounded your little ego, you'd forget to push that button and pull a trigger instead. I'm afraid you'll never make a good executive, Van. They have to know when to push buttons.
Davidson.
Gaines here.
Chief, are you all right? Are you?
I'm all right. Attack now and mop up. I'll hold the control room. I've got Van Cleek, and I think his little revolution is just about over.
Hear them hum, watch them run. Oh, our job is never done, for our roadways go rolling along. While you ride, while you glide, we are watching down inside, so your roadways keep rolling along.
Mr. Gaines. Mr. Gaines.
Mr. Evans, I forgot about you.
Yes, I've been waiting at the sector office. Is everything under control?
All rolling. Those are the watch engineers going under to check Sacramento sector, inch by inch.
Remarkable organization. Remarkable.
Hourly's in, Chief. San Diego Circle rolling. Bakersfield, Fresno, Stockton.
Stockton? Oh, no.
What's the matter, Chief?
Trouble, Mr. Gaines?
It sure is. I promised to meet my wife at Stockton for a show. She's been waiting there since 9 o'clock last night. Dave, see if you can get her for me. Try the sector office.
All right, Chief.
And Dave, see if you can calm her down.
Oh, sure, Chief. I'll tell her the roads must roll.
No, don't tell her that. I don't think she'd appreciate it. She's heard it too often.
Oh, it's I-I-E, the roller men are we.
I better get going. Bye, Dave. Keep 'em rolling.
Anywhere you go, you are bound to know that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
In just a moment, X-1. But first, when you hear the hearty laugh and familiar voice of the great Gildersleeve tomorrow night, you know you're in for some hilarious adventures. Because whenever Gildy is around, somehow things never seem to go as planned. It might be his impulsive nature, or maybe it's his incurable weakness for the fairest sex, but whatever it is, the great Gildersleeve is bound to keep you laughing for a full 25 minutes. Tune in tomorrow night and meet Judge Hooker, Nephew Leroy, Housekeeper Bertie, and all the rest of the friendly people from Summerfield as they join the great Gildersleeve. Now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast-off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents X-1. Tonight's story, Time and Time Again, by H. Beam Piper. It happened during a routine skirmish in the Great War. Patrols advanced from the defense perimeter under jet cover and preceded by napalm throwers. The enemy defended in depth and mopped up with guided 98s fired from 40 miles to the rear. The blast area was 10 miles in circumference, and the medics didn't find much to pick up over 500 yards in.
Come on. All right, now back it in here. Look out, it's lousy with mud. More. Now cut left. More, hold it. Stretches.
Come on, Travers, get those men out.
Yes, sir. Get a move on. Line them up. Come on. Easy. You want to kill them? Okay, take it away.
I might have left those Joes where they was. Half of them won't last till the plane comes.
As long as they're alive, they'll be treated. Get those tags out, Travers. Start taking names.
Yes, sir. This one must have been 1,000 yards in.
Get his dog tag out.
What a mess. Here. Hartley Allen, Captain G5 Chem Research, AN-73D. Number SO23869-403-J.
Hartley?
Alan Hartley.
Oh. That must be the Hartley that wrote Children of the Mist and Conker's Road.
Never heard of him. Major, I think maybe he's partly conscious. Had I better give him another shot?
Go ahead, Sergeant. There isn't much else we can do for him. It's a rotten shame.
Yeah, ain't it always? Okay, Captain, let me have that arm. There.
Alan!
Oh, God. Down.
Get up, Alan. Can't stay in bed all day.
I remember that. Clear as if it were real.
Up and at him. Hit the deck.
Remarkably vivid. It's strange.
Alan, are you all right?
I'm all right. What's wrong with my voice? It's too high.
What are you doing? Practicing singing?
My voice has changed.
Is that all? You're growing up. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday?
Hey, wake up, son. Wake up.
I am awake. It's impossible. I am awake.
Well, the way you slept through that alarm, I'd say it was impossible. Come on, out of bed.
I don't understand.
You went to bed at a decent hour. You could wake up the next morning. Come on, son. Breakfast waiting. Out of bed or I'll turn it over.
All right. It's a dream.
Maybe, but you're wide awake now.
I am. I'm awake.
Well, half awake anyway.
That's the bell at St. Boniface, isn't it? What day is it?
Are you kidding? You forget today's your birthday?
No, I didn't forget.
Neither did I. Here, son. Happy 13th birthday. You won't guess what's in here.
A rifle. A light .22 rifle.
Oh, now how did you know that?
I remembered.
Did I spill the beans sometime? Oh. I could have sworn it would be a surprise. Well, go on. Open it. You like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect, Dad.
We'll have to lay down rules about using it. And I'll have to teach you how to operate it. I don't believe in letting a boy handle a gun till he really knows how. If I let you play with that thing before I teach you about guns, you'd blow your head off.
I suppose so.
I'll be shaving, Alan. Come down to breakfast when you're ready. Well, it's a big day today. You're almost a man.
Almost.
You're still groggy. Snap out of it, Alan.
I will. There's a dream in it somewhere, but I'm not sure which.
What?
Never mind, Dad. I'll be right down for breakfast.
What you going to do today, son?
I want to do some reading this morning, I guess.
That's always a good thing to do. After breakfast, suppose you take a walk down to the station and get me a Times.
Didn't it come?
What, the Times? Well, they don't deliver. Be a good idea, though. Maybe I'll talk to Sam Ashburn about it. Here's a $50, Alan. Get anything you want for yourself out of the change.
Thanks, Dad.
Finish your milk before you go.
Sure, Dad. Thanks for the money.
You're big enough to handle it now.
Hurry back. I'd like to finish the crossword puzzle before lunch.
Here you are, Alan, 1 times. Tell your father the puzzle's a stinker this week.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Ashburn.
Look out for the trucks when you cross the highway.
I'll go across Elton's lot. It's a shortcut.
Elton's? You'll have a hard time crossing there, son. There's 4 buildings on that block.
I thought they burned down.
I've seen them this morning, big as life.
I guess that didn't happen yet.
What'd you say?
Nothing, Mr. Ashburn. I was just muttering.
My days, youngsters talked up.
Yes, sir. Bye, Mr. Ashburn. Monday, August 6th, 1945. Okinawa 1. Bombing Japan.
Hey, Alan. Huh? Alan, wait up.
Hey, Larry Morton. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Al. You going to Sunday school?
No, I have some things I want to do at home.
Oh, get him. Fancy pants talk. Things I want to do at home.
Oh, go chase yourself around the block.
Go jump in a garbage can.
Go take a flying jet to the moon.
Hey, that's a new one. Flying jet to the moon. You thought up a new one, Al.
Yeah.
I wish I could stay home from Sunday school when I wanted to. How about us going swimming at the canoe club after?
Oh, I wish I could. I gotta stay home. We're expecting company. A couple of aunts of mine. Dad wants me to stay home when they come.
Aunts are a pain.
Nothing I can do.
You see the football movie at the Grand? Boy, what a team. Notre Dame.
I thought you'd like Cornell.
Cornell? Huh. They couldn't beat Vassar.
Well, you're gonna go to Cornell, aren't you?
Me, Cornell? Fat chance.
I'll bet you do.
I wouldn't take your money.
Well, I know you wouldn't, but you'll go to Cornell, all right.
Cornell. Far above Cayuga's waters, there's an awful smell.
Just the same, you'll go to Cornell. Hey, Larry, I gotta go.
Well, so long, Al. I'll see you.
So long, Larry. See you.
I'm stuck in this corner, staring at a word that makes in proportion.
Titrate.
Huh? Tight. T-I? It fits. Now, how did you know that, Alan?
That? I read it somewhere, I guess.
Oh. What you reading now? Tarzan again?
No, not Tarzan.
It's refreshing to see you with a book. Sometimes I think I ought to forbid comic books in the house. Yeah, they must be raising the devil with those bombing raids in Japan.
How long do you think the war in Japan will last, Dad?
Oh? I'd say to the middle of 1946. They'll have to invade those islands foot by foot.
I don't think so, Dad. I wouldn't be surprised if the war was over very suddenly.
How, by magic? There isn't a thing on earth will make those Japanese surrender. You expect somebody to make a pass and it'll be all over by this afternoon?
Something like that.
Wish it could. A lot of boys dead in the invasion of Japan.
Mr. Hartley, excuse me, please.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gutchell.
That's Frank Gutchell, Dad?
That's right.
Excuse me. I didn't mean to disturb you, Mr. Hartley.
It's all right. Lovely day, isn't it, Mr. Gutchell?
Mr. Hartley, the Lord's Day is always beautiful.
Of course, Mr. Gutchell.
Mr. Hartley, I wonder if you could lend me a gun and some bullets. My little dog's been hurt, and it's been suffering something terrible.
Oh, that's too bad.
I want a gun to put the poor thing out of its pain.
Of course. How would a 20-gauge shotgun do? You wouldn't want anything heavy.
I was hoping you'd let me have a little gun. Maybe, so big.
Pistol?
So I could put it in my pocket. It wouldn't look right to carry a hunting gun on the Lord's Day, and people wouldn't understand that it was for a work of mercy.
Of course, I understand. You're a very religious man.
The whole world is evil, Mr. Hartley.
Yeah, sometimes it certainly looks like it. Well, I have a Colt 38 Special from the auxiliary police outfit.
Well, that's fine.
Now, you've got to bring it right back, Mr. Gutchell. I might be called out. Now, you'll have to promise to get it right back.
Dad, wait a minute. I just remembered.
Remembered what?
Well, aren't there some cartridges left for the Luger? Then you wouldn't be without the Colt.
That's right. I have got a German automatic I could let you have. That way I wouldn't get stuck. You'd have to return it promptly, though.
Oh, wait, Dad, I'll get it. I know where the cartridges are.
Be careful, son. Well, Mr. Gutchell, it sure turned out nice after all that.
Hello, police headquarters. This is Blake Hartley. Frank Gutchell, who lives on Campbell Street, has just borrowed a gun from me, ostensibly to shoot a dog. What? No, he has no dog. He intends shooting his wife. Now, listen, he'll walk home. If you hurry, you can get a man there on time. What? No, but I wish you'd get my pistol back to me. It's from the First World War. All right, then you'll take care of it. Goodbye.
There you are. What kept you, Alan?
Well, I couldn't find the cartridges at first. I'll show Mr. Gutchell how it works. It's all loaded, ready to shoot. This is the safety. Just push it forward and up. There are 8 shots in it.
Did you load the chamber, Ellen?
Sure, it's on safe now. You understand how it works, Mr. Gutchell?
Oh, yes, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Hartley. Thank you, Sonny. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Gutchell. Return the gun when you're done.
Yes, I'll be done with it soon. Goodbye.
Alan, you shouldn't have loaded that gun.
I guess it's all over now. I had to keep you from fooling with it. I didn't want you to see I took out the firing pin.
You what?
Gutchell didn't want that gun to shoot a dog. He's a fanatic. He sees visions, hears voices. The voices probably put him up to this. Well, I'll submit that any man who holds intimate conversations with disembodied spirits isn't to be trusted with a gun.
What are you talking about?
While I was at it, I called the police upstairs. I put a handkerchief over my mouth and told them I was you.
You? Well, why did you have to do that?
I couldn't have told them this is little Alan Hartley, 13 years old.
And suppose he really wants to shoot a dog. What kind of a mess will I be in then?
No mess. If I'm wrong, which I'm not, I'll take the rap for it. Dumb kid trick, you know. But if I'm right, you'll have to front for me. They give me a lot of cheap boy hero publicity, which I don't want.
This is crazy, Alan. This is absolutely crazy.
Maybe. We'll have the complete returns in 20 minutes.
Mr. Hartley? Mr. Blake Hartley?
That's right.
I'm Detective Sergeant Koborski from Homicide. Here's your Luger.
Thank you.
I don't know how you spotted that guy, but when we busted in, he was pointing that gun at his wife and swearing a blue streak because it wouldn't go off.
I'm glad I was able to help.
You know, they may even have some kind of a citation for you, Mr. Hartley.
I don't think that's necessary.
In the department, we figure a little publicity never hurt nobody. Even a lawyer, huh?
I really would prefer it if it were kept quiet.
Well, whatever you say. We'll want you to drop around in the morning for a statement.
I'll be glad to.
Well, goodbye. Goodbye, Sonny.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Why don't you take the citation, Dad?
Well, you were right. You saved that woman's life. Now, let's see you put back the firing pin.
Sure. Here.
All right, Alan. Suppose we have a little talk.
But I explained everything.
You did not. Yesterday, you wouldn't even have known how to take this pistol apart. Today, you've been using language and expressing ideas that are outside of everything you've ever known before. Now, I want to know...
I hope you're not toying with the medieval notion of obsession.
What?
Well, you say I'm changed. When did you first notice this?
Well, last night, you were still my little boy. This morning, I don't know. You've been strange all day. There's been something... Alan, what's happened to you?
I wish I could be sure myself, Dad. You see, when I woke this morning, I hadn't the least recollection of anything I'd done yesterday, August 4th, 1945.
Oh, but that's serious.
You don't know how serious. My last memory was lying on a stretcher, injured by a bomb explosion. I was 43 years old, and the year was 1975.
1975? Well, that's right. You'll be 43 in 1975, but a bomb?
Yes, during the siege of Buffalo in the Third World War. I was a captain in G5, Scientific Warfare, General Staff.
Buffalo? You mean Buffalo, New York?
There'd been a transpolar invasion of Canada. I was sent to the front to check on service failures of a new lubricating oil. A week after I got there, Ottawa fell and the retreat started. We made a stand at Buffalo, and that was where I got it. I remember being picked up and getting a narcotic injection. The next thing I knew, I was in bed upstairs, and it was 1945 again. And I was back in my own 13-year-old body.
Oh, Alan, you just had a nightmare to end all nightmares, that's all.
I thought it might be that at first, but I rejected it. It won't fit the facts.
But it's ridiculous, all this Battle of Buffalo stuff. You picked up something listening to the radio. All the commentators have been going on about another war after this one. You've just got an undigested hunk of H.V. Callan born in your subconscious, that's all.
But that isn't everything. I remember 4 years of high school, 4 years at Cornell, 7 years as a reporter on the Philadelphia Record, 3 novels, Children of the Mist, Rose of Death, Conqueror's Road. You think a 13-year-old can dream up all that stuff?
But it's the only possible explanation.
Maybe, but I can speak 5 languages today that I couldn't yesterday. French, German, Chinese, Russian, and a little Spanish. Although I've got a Mexican accent you could cut with a knife.
But how did it happen? Alan, I can't believe it.
All I know is here I am. I've been reading up on time theories. Nobody seems to know much about them. Evidently, time exists parallel as another dimension, and I got kicked backwards along it.
But how?
Oh, it may have been the radiations from the bomb or the narcotic injection, or both together. But the fact remains I'm here with full knowledge of my future identity.
This is quite a shock, Alan.
But you do believe me, don't you?
Yes, I suppose I must. You seem so strange, as if you weren't my son.
I'm your son, all right. Same body as yesterday. I've just had an educational shortcut.
Wait a minute. If you can remember the next 30 years, suppose you tell me when the war is going to end. This one against the Japs, I mean.
Oh, sure. Well, the Japanese surrender will be announced at exactly 7:01 p.m. on August 14th. That's a week from Tuesday. You better make sure we have plenty of grub in the house by then. Everything will be closed up tight till Thursday morning, even the restaurants. I remember we had nothing to eat in the house but some scraps.
A week from Tuesday. That's pretty sudden, isn't it?
Not after today.
What do you mean? What happened today?
Oh, plenty. What time is it, Dad?
That's 11:16.
Is your watch right?
Well, to the seconds, why?
Well, it'll come at exactly 11:17:40.
What'll come?
The radio announcement.
What are you getting at? Something important on the radio? Well, we'll see.
Well, don't bother, Dad. It won't work. I remember we had a tube burned out.
There is something wrong. When is this announcement of yours?
Now I remember it. I memorized it in journalism school in 1954. What time is it?
11:18 o'clock.
We're breaking into the program now. President Truman has just announced that an atomic bomb has been dropped on the Japanese industrial city of Hiroshima. The bomb was dropped 16 hours ago, and the announcement was delayed to ascertain the results of the explosion. A man named John Howard Peterson read that announcement from the Washington newsroom with NBC.
I don't believe it.
No? Well, listen.
What?
That's the Bergplatt factory whistle. And the bells of St. Boniface. Now, next, the whistle at the volunteer firehouse.
Then it's true. It's true.
Sure. Then Larry Morton came by on his bicycle.
Hey, Al. Al, you hear? You hear about the bomb? An atomic bomb.
Yeah, we heard.
Boy, atomic bomb. Oh, boy. I gotta go find my pop. He's on the golf course. Bye, Al. Bye, Mr. Hartley.
You knew. You knew about it.
The next bomb hits Nagasaki.
I thought that stuff about atomic energy was so much fantasy. Was that the kind of bomb that got you?
Oh, that was a firecracker to the one that got me. It was a guided 98. Exploded 10 miles away.
And that's going to happen in 30 years?
I remember it.
How about... Well, how about me? Oh, wait. Never mind. I don't think I'd better know when I'm going to die.
I couldn't tell you anyway. I had a letter from you just before I left for the front. You were 78 then, and you were still hunting and fishing and flying your own plane.
But another war, and fought on American soil. Oh, Alan, I wish this hadn't happened to you.
It happened. I remember it. But if I can help it, I'm not going to get killed in any Battle of Buffalo.
But if you remember it, if time exists as a parallel dimension, then every tick we're getting closer to that Third World War.
Dad, you know what I remembered when Gutchell came to borrow that gun?
No, I suppose that you suspected him and warned me.
No, that wasn't it. The first time when I was really 13, I wasn't home. I'd been swimming at the canoe club with Larry Morton. When I got home about a half an hour from now, I found the house full of cops.
But if the gun didn't fire...
What makes you think it didn't? Gutchell talked the 38 out of you. He went home, Shot his wife 4 times in the body, once behind the ear, and used the 6th shot to blow his own brains out.
That's what you remember?
Yes. The cops traced the gun. They took a very poor view of your lending it to him. You never got it back.
But here it is.
Oh, not the way I remember it. But I didn't want you in trouble, so I warned you. Dad, I found out the future can be changed.
One man can't change the whole future.
I stopped a murder and a suicide.
I know, but...
With 30 years to work, I can stop a world war. I'll have the means, too.
The means?
Unlimited wealth and influence. I've got a good memory, Dad. I wrote a list out this afternoon.
Assault, jet pilot, citation, ponder, middle ground. What is this, a code?
Horses. That's a list of Kentucky Derby winners from 1946 to 1970.
Huh? You sure?
Well, I learned that list on a bet at the Officers Club in Cincinnati in 1971. Assault paid 8 to 1. You figure out what we can take in.
But gambling.
Oh, this isn't gambling. It's a sure thing. When we get rolling, we'll make the Rockefellers look like pikers.
Assault at 8 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I could scrape up $5,000. In 10 years, that'll make a lot of money. Any other little thing you have in mind, Ellen?
Well, by 1952, we start building a political organization here in Pennsylvania. In 1960, I think we can elect you president.
President? Isn't that going a little too far?
Well, why not? Who wouldn't vote for a politician who was always right? Besides, that's the one thing we've got to change. In 1960, we had a man in the White House who was good to his wife and sang a nice tenor, and that's about all. He fouled up so completely, we ended up at war. And I think President Hartley might be a little more trusted to take a strong line.
But I don't know anything about international decisions.
I do. I know all the wrong ones. If we can stop one murder, we can stop a war. It's worth a try, isn't it?
I guess so. How do I start?
Well, as I remember, just after the bomb announcement, you got a phone call from the City Fusion Party about the next election.
Well, there's a lot of talk about a reform ticket.
Well, that call is going to be important, Dad. It's the turning point. Now you've got to know. There it is.
Well, what do I do?
Well, answer it. Go ahead.
But...
Don't worry. I'll tell you what to do. Go ahead.
Hello? Yes, this is Blake Hartley. Judge Cribbins. Yes. Just a moment. Alan, he's asking me to run.
Oh, my head.
Alan.
Oh.
Alan, what's the matter?
Oh.
Alan. He passed out. Alan, what do I do now? Alan, listen to me. Alan. Alan, what's the matter?
Captain Hartley. Captain Hartley.
He was all right, Doctor. I gave him a shot and he was all right.
Well, he's dead. All right, Sergeant. Make out the tag. Hartley Allen. Captain. Dead April 8th, 1975.
Alan, what happened? Alan! Alan! Alan, are you all right?
Oh, hi, Dad.
I've got Judge Crimmins on the phone. What do I tell him?
What?
Alan, are you all right? You passed out.
Sure. I'm all right. Hey, today's my birthday, isn't it? What'd you get for my birthday, huh?
Don't you remember? The Third World War?
What Third World War? Gee, Dad, what's the matter? You're looking at me funny.
You don't remember. You're back again, aren't you? Back to 13 years old.
Sure, I'm 13 today. For corn's sake, Dad.
You must have died up there. It was only a mind transfer. That means I'm on my own. I have to do it myself without your help.
Help for what? If it's the grass, I said I'd cut it tomorrow.
No, it's not the grass. I've got to save your life, Ellen. I can't let you die that way in 1975.
You're talking about, Dad? You sound goofy.
I've got to change it all by myself.
Change what?
Never mind, Alan. You don't know yet. Come on. Let's have lunch.
Sure, Dad, but now, how about my present now? What'd you give me for my birthday,
In a minute, son. Go on in.
Okay, well, hurry up, Dad, huh?
Sure, all right. Now, where did I put that list of horses?
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Time and Time Again, written by H. Beam Piper and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Jack Grimes, Peter Fernandez, Joe DeSantis, Joseph Bell, Clark Gordon, Herm Dinkin, Dick Hamilton, and James Dukas. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.